always.
Mom? Dad? What is it? What's wrong?
Your brother and Shauna were killed in a car accident.
What? Most of her friends and family thought she was reckless, but not Eric. He had always told her how smart she was and that one day she'd figure things out. What about Bree? Is Bree okay?
She's okay. Her collarbone was fractured, but it should heal on its own. There's nothing more they can do for it.
Bree's in foster care.
What?
Your mother and I are booked on the next plane of Phoenix.
Maggie sprinted for the spiral staircase. I'm going to pack. I am coming with you.
I'll see if I can get another ticket.
Jags spotted Star at the far end of the company cafeteria. Her face was swollen and pink. She'd obviously been crying. Maybe his vision had come to pass. He should mind his own business, but he was never good at following the rules of social etiquette. Shrugging, he approached her. Before he could say anything, she looked up.
So not in the mood.
Jags sat across from her. How about a truce?
Is that your attempt at an apology?
I have nothing to apologize for. I just thought we could be adults and stop making faces at each other when we pass in the hallway.
Please go away.
Jags followed her gaze. Ty was walking toward them, holding a vase of red roses.
Please, go.
Jags smacked his palms on the table, walked away. Waiting in line for the salad bar, he couldn't refrain from looking her way. The roses were set on the table. Star and None of Your Business were hugging. They deserved each other.
I'll only be a few minutes.
The plane leaves in 3 hours, Miss Stewart. You really should get going if you want to get to the airport on time.
Emerald green everywhere. Cam was at the far end of the dining room. He sat on top of a table, his booted feet dangling off the edge. A crowd of young adults sat in chairs all around him. Cam looked toward her, then turned his attention back to the people surrounding him. He'd seen her. No turning back now. Maggie stood by the door, not sure if she should leave. She'd obviously interrupted some kind of meeting. Cam hopped from the table and walked toward her. His dark eyes met hers. Her breath caught in her throat, Her heart pounded in her chest. The same giddy feeling that tickled her insides for her third-grade crush had returned. Pathetic. But Cam wasn't a crush. A mixture of uncertainty and nerves fluttered in her stomach as he stopped before her. Restaurant looks great.
You think so?
I'm interrupting. I'll just go.
I have a minute.
Grabbing her elbow, Cam led her to a booth, waited for her to sit, and sat across from her. I heard the charges against you were dropped.
Yep.
Maggie scanned the room. Stacks of green plates lined stainless steel shelves. A hunter green carpet patterned with crimson roses blanketed the floor. Various size pictures were hung around the room. Pictures of Cam, Jags, and AJ. Hung by the entrance was a poster-sized black and white picture. A young man in a Navy uniform on a cement platform, a U.S. Navy ship behind him.
Are you going to tell me why you're here?
She looked at him, took a breath, and I love you. 3 simple words. Any second, you can do it.
Suddenly it's okay to be seen with me.
I'm sorry for everything. I'm sorry.
Oh, so you came here to apologize.
Her hands slid from her face.
I didn't go to you. You came to me. And yet, here I am, doing all the talking. What exactly are you sorry for? What, you're sorry for being ashamed of me?
No, I'm not ashamed of you.
Remember the night we played pool? I asked you not to play games and you told me I was the one playing games because you had made your feelings clear. The situation has reversed. I've made my feelings clear, and now you're the one playing games. So here's the fucking short of it. I killed Stephen, and I'd do it again. Ask yourself this. Do you really want to be with a killer?
Maggie opened her mouth to respond. He held up a hand and folded his fingers to his thumb.
My future is uncertain. If I find out who those others are, I'll not hesitate to fuck them over. Have you heard everything I've said so far?
Maggie nodded.
Life with me will not be easy. I'm not right in the head, which I'm sure you figured out by now. There's a good chance that I'll screw both of our lives up.
He sure wasn't making this easy.
This is not me playing games. I'm laying it all out there. Now, tell me why you're here.
Shit.
Maggie,
Hi, Dad.
you want me to be late?
I'm leaving right now.
So, breaking my heart once wasn't enough for you.
That's not it. Cam stood.
You need an ego boost, honey. Here it is. I still love you, and probably always will.
She stood and looked up at him. Her eyes shifted to his mouth. She leaned in, her mouth close to his.
I told you I don't work like that.
And she let him go. man opened the door. His long black bangs were pulled back with an elastic band. Maggie shot him a menacing look and shoved past him. Bree?
Aunt Maggie!
Maggie dropped to her knees with her arms spread wide. Bree slammed into her. Maggie fell backward onto her butt. Bree's quarter-size ringlets brushed across Maggie's cheek. Palming the back of her niece's head, Maggie squeezed her tighter. Did that man touch you? Bree shook her head.
Where's Mommy and Daddy? Why do I have to live here?
I'm going to take care of you. Scooping Bree up, Maggie strode toward the door. A woman with dark hair cut in a chin-length bob stepped in front of her.
You can't just barge in here and take a child from this house.
Watch me.
Oh, Maggie, I'll handle this. I have the paperwork you need.
Put Bree in the back and climbed in beside her. Bree climbed over Maggie and sat across her lap.
We were in a car accident.
I know. How's your neck?
It only hurts a little. Where's Mommy and Daddy?
We'll talk about that later.
I was so scared. The policeman had a gun.
Hey, the policemen are the good guys. Don't be afraid of them.
Can I go home now?
Yes, we can go home.
The front door to Copper Creek opened and Cam looked up. There was a woman with long, dark hair smiling at him and walking toward him. Fuck! Karina?
It's been a while.
Try almost 20 years. He could hardly believe his eyes. She was as beautiful as he remembered.
Got a minute?
Yup. Have a seat. He waited for her to sit and sat across from her. So, how's your dad?
He passed 3 years ago.
His mind
Heart attack.
in a fog.
I'm here about the front of house manager position.
Reeling from the news that Mr. Moriarty had passed. I can't believe you're here. When did you move back?
Just a few days ago.
Look,
I understand if you hate me.
I don't hate you. Not even close.
My dad would have loved this.
Cam flipped open the menu and pointed.
Spicy chicken and sausage casserole. Is it his recipe?
Yeah, I know it by heart. I make it all the time for Jags. You know, your father was a great man. And I really hate that I hurt him.
We hurt him.
For the first time in weeks, really ever since Maggie left Texas, he didn't feel so alone. Karina's friendly face was a welcome reprieve from the hateful words and glances he got all over town. So, do you want a job?
Yes.
You gotta know that it doesn't really pay much.
I don't need much.
You got any experience?
Dad had a restaurant south of Boston. Worked there most of my adult life.
Have a problem working 50-plus hour weeks?
No.
How flexible are you? Can you work weekends and nights?
The more hours, the better. I need the distraction.
Okay, good. Why did you come back here after all this time?
My husband and I just got a divorce. He has a life in Boston, but I don't. The only family I have left is my sister, and she lives here.
Well then, welcome aboard.
Really?
If it wasn't for your father, I wouldn't even be here right now. so the least I could do is offer his daughter a job.
Any other positions open?
Well, I still need a few line cooks.
I was thinking more along the lines of busboy.
The waitstaff is responsible for bussing their own tables.
Jake, my son, he needs a job. Nothing in the back of the house.
Why?
I'm just not sure he's responsible enough to be a line cook.
How old is he?
He'll be 19 next month.
It's up to you, but I think you should give him a chance. Your son's 19.
On the memory of my father, I swear to you that Jake is not yours.
A teenage boy entered. He was tall and rail thin, with short caramel unkempt hair. This boy reeked of marijuana. You must be Jake. When Jake rolled his bloodshot eyes, Cam laughed. The kid was a punk, and he so looked forward to getting to know him better. Was it that long ago that he was just like this kid? He put him to work unpacking dry goods in one of the back rooms. Then he sat Karina down and explained the trouble he'd been in, and his doubts as to the success of the restaurant. He might have beat the charges, but many people suspected foul play. The likelihood of them giving their patronage to a murderer who escaped prosecution was slim. Karina didn't seem bothered by the high chance of failure, or with Cam's questionable recent past. They talked for a while longer and reminisced over the past. They worked until dark, split a pizza, and laughed at Jake's obvious disgruntlement. Karina asked Jake to label the shelves where he stacked the dry goods. Your mother asked you to do something. I guess you didn't hear her? Dry storage? It's that way. Yep, he definitely looked forward to getting to know this boy a lot better.
Recognize that place?
That's where I live.
Yep, that's right. Bree ran to the kitchen and pulled a paper plate from the front of the refrigerator. Thin strips of orange paper protruded all around the plate. A lion's face was drawn in the middle. Bree held it out for her grandfather.
This for me?
Uh-huh.
I know just where I'll put it.
Where?
On the wall, in my office.
Come see what I made for Mommy?
He placed her on the couch and sat beside her.
There's something we need to talk about.
Dad, do we have to do this right now?
Waiting a few hours or even a day or two is not going to change anything. She deserves to know. You can either stay or leave if it's too difficult, but I'm doing this now.
Maggie's mother, Janet, sat on the other side of Bree and took her hand.
It's about Mommy and Daddy. They were hurt real bad in the accident. And because they were hurt so bad, God decided to take them home. They live in heaven now.
They're not coming home?
No.
Never?
They can't come back, but I know they would if they could. They love you very much, and I'm sure they're watching over us right now.
Can I talk to them?
Nobody is sure if people in heaven can hear us or not, but I believe they can.
I don't want them to live in heaven.
I don't either.
You're gonna come live with us in Texas.
What if Mommy and Daddy come back? They won't know where I am.
They're not coming back.
I hate Texas! I don't want to go. Please don't make me.
You don't have to go.
Maggie,
I'll stay with her.
you have any idea what you're saying?
It's bad enough she lost Eric and Shauna, but to rip her from the only home she's known is just too much to ask. In a few months, she may be more open to the idea, but she just needs a little time. And time is something we both know I have plenty of.
Are you sure you're up for this? It's a big responsibility.
Let me do this one last thing for Eric. Besides, you need someone here to tie up loose ends, right? I can help with that. Aren't you going to sell the house?
Yeah, I suppose so.
I could go through everything and decide what we want to keep and what to give away.
You sure you want to do this?
I've never been more sure of anything in my life.
Why do I have a feeling this is going to come back to bite me in the ass?
Watch your language. There's a child in the room.
Please, Papa.
She has the same look in her eye that you get when you want something from me.
We are family.
Check in weekly to let me know how things are going. And I'm reserving the right to change my mind at any time and with no advance warning.
Okay. Bree looked at him, a devilish grin on her face. He hugged her tighter.
I love you.
Yeah. Don't get all mushy on me.
Wouldn't dream of it.
Copper Creek had been opened a week. The first 3 days, only 6 people crossed the Copper Creek threshold. On the 4th day, both Zeke Chase and Mayor Stewart went to Copper Creek to dine. The press was frenzied. The man who ran the town and the man who owned the town had shown their support. Word spread, and by the end of the week, the head count grew to nearly 100. Things were going well for Cam, and Jags couldn't be happier. Well, one thing could make him happier. But he promised not to interfere between his brother and Maggie, and he intended to keep that promise. After all, the last time he tried, things hadn't gone well. He managed to convince Cam to go for a drink after Copper Creek closed for the evening. The bar was crowded tonight. Jags headed for the bathroom. We found Tilly and Star sitting at a small round table, 2 iced teas before them. Tilly slid from the stool. Jags scooped her up and twirled her. Jags kissed her on the cheek.
What did you see?
Nothing. He tapped playfully on Star's hand. How's planning for the wedding?
You just can't help yourself, can you?
I wasn't trying to be a wise ass. I was just
Nate's here.
trying to make conversation.
Another man who can't help himself.
Everything okay? You look kind of down. Her hands covered her face. Jags tugged at her hands, but Star held them firm. Sugar. Look at me. Star shook her head.
Go away.
I know about Ty and Linda. Her hand slid down her face.
How? Does everybody know?
No, it's not like that.
Well, then how do you know?
Jags took her hand in his. What can I do? Star wrenched her hand from his grasp.
I don't want your help.
You're going to stay with them, aren't you?
Not that it's any of your business, but yes, we've been
Together for 5 years. Yeah, I know. You've wasted 5 years of your life, so what's another 50? Do you have any ounce of self-respect?
I have enough self-respect to stay away from people like you who just make me feel worse about myself.
Because Ty makes you feel great about yourself. And how's that working for you? How old are you? I'm gonna guess you're somewhere around 24. Which means you've been with Ty since you were... what? 19-ish? Am I warm? He mourned people like her, who simply endured life, forsaking the opportunity to bleed it of every challenge, adventure, and risk life had to offer. Like gravity, her beautiful pouty face drew him in. He took her face in his hands and kissed her. With barely a touch, he nipped, slipping his tongue inside her mouth. And Star didn't slap him. I'm truly sorry about what he did to you. When he kissed her again, Star's posture stiffened. His hands framed her face. You make me crazy. When I don't want to shake you, I want to eat you alive. Please tell me you feel even some of what I'm feeling.
I can't do this. I'm not gonna throw away 5 years.
You mean he's safe, routine, comfortable? Jags leaned in to kiss her, and she let him. Do I feel safe, routine, comfortable? He glanced down and noticed her fingers gripping her stool. His lazy, tender, and lingering kisses were not unlike his lovemaking. A realization he hoped she grasped and would someday experience for herself. Her tongue met his, and his desire rocketed. With his hands splayed on either side of her head, he braced her for a harder, wilder kiss. His smile pressed against her lips. Safe isn't always best. Sometimes, you just need to take a chance.
And lose the man I've loved for 5 years?
Do you want a roommate or a lover?
Both.
Not me. I want a lover. Somebody who makes me burn. Somebody who still takes my breath away even in the retirement home. Somebody to grope in a crowded restaurant because I can't stand another second without touching her. A woman that makes me hard with her smile. When none of your business smiles, does it make you wet?
Ugh.
I'm out of here. I can't stand people like you.
You can't stand people like me? And what kind of people would that be?
Fake people. I can't stand fake people. You want me and we both know it. You can't even be true to yourself. He tapped a waitress on the shoulder. Excuse me, do you have a pen? He took the offered pen and wrote on Star's naked wrist. That's my number. Call me when you want to get real.
Her parents were scheduled to fly home hours after the funeral. As Maggie drove her parents from her brother's gravesite into the airport, she had no regrets about her decision to stay in Phoenix. But as she waved goodbye, her stomach churned with apprehension. She could barely take care of herself. She couldn't screw this up. She wouldn't screw this up.
Aunt Maggie?
Yes, honey.
Thursday's breakfast with Dad day. Santa's coming too.
What's breakfast with Dad?
It's the day that daddies are supposed to come to school and have breakfast. Mrs. Perkins said that if somebody's daddy can't make it, then Mommy could come instead.
I'll come have breakfast with you.
But you're not my mommy.
No, I'm not.
So you can't come.
I'm sure Mrs. Perkins wouldn't mind if I came in place of your mommy.
I'm going to be the only one there without a mommy or daddy. Could we pretend that you're my mommy?
Oh, shit.
You said a bad word.
Don't ever say that word.
I don't want all my friends knowing that I don't have a mommy or daddy.
Don't they know what your mommy looks like?
A few, but there's lots that don't.
The idea that Bree wanted Maggie to pretend to be her mommy sent shivers down her spine. She wasn't the mothering type and doubted she ever would be. Bree deserved so much better. If that's what you want, I'd be happy to pretend to be your mommy. We have to make a quick stop first, though.
What's wrong?
Will you take us home?
Of course. I wasn't expecting this reaction.
It's just that Star's not having a good...
What the hell? Jags is kissing Star?
Don't.
No, I take that back. I think he's trying to swallow her whole.
Nate, let it go.
Are you crazy? I'm not gonna let Jags seduce... What aren't you telling me? We don't keep secrets.
It's not my secret to tell.
She's getting married.
I'm not so sure about that.
What did Ty do to her? That son of a bitch!
Maggie drove to a mall where she spent the next 2 hours picking out new clothes. If she was going to be a mother, then she should dress the part. She found herself scowling at a pair of black slacks. How do you like these?
Are we almost done? I'm hungry.
Maggie chucked the pants into the already full cart. Hopefully, with time, these clothes would grow on her. But right now, she wanted to stick her finger down her throat and vomit all over them. Boring. She scooped the clothes onto the counter.
Did you find everything you were looking for?
Unfortunately.
When Nate reached Star, Jags had already left. He seized her hand and pulled her toward the door.
I want to know what that asshole did to you. And don't give me a story either.
Star let herself be dragged through the bar by her sister's overprotective husband.
Because Tilly all but admitted Ty was a sleaze. So I want the truth.
When she met Tilly's apologetic smile, her sister shrugged, pantomiming, sorry. But Star was too tired and confused to be angry. Kissing Jags had turned her mind to Cotton. But all new relationships had that bubbly, giddy feeling in the beginning. Her relationship with Ty was matured. This was their rough patch, and they'd get through it.
Call me when you want to get real.
For the past 2 months, Maggie performed the part of mommy with gusto. She didn't much like the clothes, but tolerated them nonetheless. She didn't know how to cook and had no interest in learning, since she wasn't much of an eater herself. Pop-Tarts were served in the morning, McDonald's served in the evening. A cheeseburger Happy Meal for Bree, a strawberry parfait for Maggie. She cleaned house, did laundry, attended parent-teacher conferences, and had actually started to like playing the part of mommy. Every weekend, they went for a nature walk at Lyman State Park, located a few miles from where they lived. Opened Bree's door and frowned when Bree reached for her Hello Kitty backpack. Do you have to bring that?
What if I get hungry?
We just ate, and we'll be back in less than 2 hours.
Please?
Fine, whatever. Let's just go. What? What? Okay, we probably shouldn't run. I read that somewhere once.
Oh shit. Run!
Bree, close your eyes.
Cameron Wolf?
Yep.
Welcome aboard. Zeke was unable to be here himself, but he sends his regards. Have a seat anywhere in one of the 6 seats. Welcome aboard the Chase Earhart. We will be departing shortly. Total flight time is 2 hours and 24 minutes, which will bring us into Phoenix around 11:10 local time. Expect a balmy 77 degrees and next to 0% humidity. Today we'll be cruising at 400 miles per hour at an altitude of 33,000 feet. Zeke asks that you check the seat pocket in front of you. There you'll find a bottle of complimentary Tenuta Hills raspberry wine, a joint, and a Bluetooth headset playing the best of the Doors. If you require a lighter, please ask. We'll toss one back. We'll be airborne in a Mississippi minute. Sit back, relax, and buckle up.
She's gonna be okay.
Thanks for calling.
She just got out of surgery.
Surgery for what?
Well, the animal left a 6-inch gash. Tore the muscles in both her quadriceps. They were keeping her sedated a while longer, but she keeps waking up. And every time she does, she asks for either you or Bree.
She's gonna be okay.
Why don't you see for yourself?
And walked to the foot of the bed. A white bandage ran down her left cheek. Inch-wide gauze circled her right wrist. A maze of stitches covered both arms. Mounds of white blankets covered her tiny body. She looked so damn pale. He took a seat in a padded armchair, parallel to the bed. The rhythmic ding calmed his nerves as much as it rattled them. Maggie was hospitalized, but she was okay. A young girl with long curly hair stepped into the room. A pink rectangular gadget was in her hand. She looked at Maggie, then at him. Her brows furrowed and her head tilted, a questioning look on her face. Cam straightened. He never spent time around kids, and had no desire to start now. Children should be seen and not heard, an old adage that he wholeheartedly agreed with.
Are you her friend?
No, but I was walking by and this room looked so nice, and so I decided to stay for a little while.
You're funny.
She crawled herself up his body and situated herself across his lap, then opened the pink gadget. Okay. Hi. A tiny screen displayed a purple talking ball. Using a pen-like instrument, She bounced the ball up a green hill, down a slide, then on top of an orange crate. The box exploded, wings sprouted from the purple blob, and it took the baby to the blue sky. She offered him the pen.
Want to play?
No. Fuck. Cam waited.
Wanna play Thumb Wars?
Thumb Wars? Fine. Fine. How do you play?
Bree?
Mommy!
Are you hurt?
Nuh-uh.
Oh, baby girl. I'm so glad you're okay.
I just texted your father, okay? He and your mother will be here soon. They're just in the cafeteria.
I'm glad to see you. Maggie situated Bree beside her. What's the "you're a dumbass" look for?
It's not a dumbass look. It's a "you scared the crap out of me" look.
This is my friend, Cam.
He said he wasn't your friend.
He's right. He's not my friend. He's the man I love, and I should have told him so a long time ago. He sank onto the mattress and took her hand.
Marry me.
I can't leave Phoenix. I can't leave Bree.
I didn't ask you to leave Bree.
I want to live in Texas.
She is a talkative little thing, just like you. I know you've been looking after her, and I know why. I told her I plan to marry you and move you and her to Texas. Now, she didn't like the idea at first, but after she beat me in a couple of games of Zunga, she caved in.
You're not worried that you might hurt me anymore?
I could never hurt you. And I've been thinking, you're not my mother.
Well, that's a load off. I wasn't aware you were getting us confused. No wonder you didn't want to sleep with me.
If Tony didn't die when he did, she would never have left him.
Who's Tony?
He was my father. He wasn't very nice to us. He died some years back.
Why are you telling me all this?
What would you have done in my mother's place?
I would have packed my crap, kicked the bastard in the teeth, and told him to kiss my rosy rear end.
See? And that's what I wanted to hear.
Cam, but I can't have children. Don't you want children?
I mean, I could be wrong, but she looks like a child to me.
Are you sure?
Yep. Oh, and there's something else. Jags drove me to a sleep clinic in Houston. I've been on medicine for 3 weeks, and it seems to be working. I haven't had any nightmares. Well, none that I can remember anyway. We're going to have to sleep in separate bedrooms, just for a while. I want to make sure they're really gone. I can get really violent, like that first night on our hike. If you're near me when I have one, I could hurt you. I could even kill you. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know, we don't have to start the night out in separate bedrooms. Just end the night in separate bedrooms. And don't get any ideas because I'm going to have a lock on my bedroom door.
We don't have to live with Gramps, do we?
Yup. Is that a problem?
Other than not wanting to live in a dungeon?
How can I fix it?
Drapes would be a start.
I can live with drapes.
New carpet and kitchen flooring next. And don't even get me started on the tobacco-stained white walls. There should be a law against white paint.
Let me guess. You were thinking green.
Anything but white.
I love you.
Don't try to sweet-talk your way out of this. I'm serious.
Of course.
So you'll make the renovations?
I don't know if I can afford all of that right now, but we'll work through your list. Just give me some time.
And I hate diamonds. Pick another stone.
Anything else?
Will you go to the gift shop and get me some chocolate?
Yep.
Wolf Brothers Saga Volume 1. Always. Written by Max Redford and Lita Stone. Brought to you by Fiction for Adults. Wolf Brothers Saga. Because reality is overrated.
Always.
This has been a production of Fiction for Adults. For more FFA production, upcoming releases, news, and more, please go to fictionforadults.com and join the official FFA fan cord. Support Fiction for Adults by joining the official Patreon. Thank you for listening. Coming soon. Volume 2 of the Wolf Brothers Saga. Maybe